Hi guys, my name is Nick from JTech. What we're going to do in this video is connect our data link with our Boss reader system right here. It's a wireless system. We have it plugged in and the power just so it can have power for now. You want to make sure you're using your direct data link. It's a 9-pin 1939. So you want to make sure your system is on and you have your software already on there. What you're going to do, just go to your data link on your truck and connect it. All right. After you connect it, it's not going to read anything unless you have power to the vehicle. So what you're going to need to do is put it in accessory mode and turn the key switch not all the way to crank, but just accessory so its powers on. Alrighty, and now you're going to go to the software program. Now you're going to walk over. What you're going to do is select the correct pin. You see you have Volvo and Mac. They're 36 pin, and then you have your regular 7 to 9 pins on there. After you select that, it's going to load it for you. We're just waiting for it to load. Alrighty, sometimes it's going to prompt you to put the VIN number in. So we have ours written down here. And you're going to put it in real quick. And you're going to select continue. Alrighty, so these are the systems they can check in this truck. So the 4 systems will have brakes, which will be our ABS, and we'll have any engine codes, so we'll read it for any of those. They have codes for instrumentation and multiplex codes, which are general body codes. This system can also run common tests, so it can do your ABS modulator test. It can check wheel speed sensor and can do compression tests and various tests on here. And you can check your injectors as well by activating them and non-activating them. But we're just concerned with the fault codes, so we're going to go over to systems and select read faults. Alrighty. Alright, so now it's reading. You want to concern yourself with the active faults. It'll show you inactive faults and the number of times those faults have occurred in the past in the memory. So when you look at the active codes, as you see, there's going to be something on the brake system, on the anti-lock braking system, and there's an active fault on that. There's going to be a SID number, which is the system identifier, which will tell you which system is reading this fault, and the failure, which type of failure it is. Would be the FMI number right after it. So we got the SID number is 231 and FMI number is 14. And we can go over to our Pro Demand or whichever software we're using and look at the manual and see what we need to do. After we found out what we do, you also want to look at the inactive faults in the past, make sure those don't come back on. So we're going to go over to a Pro Demand and show you guys the procedure to solve our issue. Another little thing we didn't go over, you can click on your active faults to get more information on here. And it'll have troubleshooting steps on here. It will tell you failure location and what takes certain steps and what could have caused it. It could be a multiple of things. You can also click on fault info and it will show you that it is the ABS control unit. Other than that, you can do other things. After you fix the issue, you can clear the faults and repeat the scan, make sure everything is good to go. Alright, so now after we found our code, our SID was 231, the FMI code was 14. So now we're going to go into the Bendix because this was a break code, and we're going to look what the procedures are to fix a specific code that we had on there. So right when we go in our Bendix manual, it's going to show us a few things. It's going to tell us the overview of the fault code. So it's going to show us how our system works and how data is reported to the ECM and supplied, and it's going to show us our terminating resistance as well. When you scroll down, it's going to have a procedure here. So it's going to show us to disconnect the VORAD and various steps with pinouts on the ECU, and check resistance in between those pinouts to further locate where this issue is coming from, if it's from the wiring, if it's the ECU itself, or if it is the sensors themselves. So after you follow the procedure given to you by Bendix, it should shorten down where it would be after all the voltage tests and ohm testing. You should find out if there's something wrong with either the harness, the sensors, connectors, or the ECU itself. Other than that, our video is finished here. This was over the basics of finding a fault code.